Well, good day, everybody. Today, we're going to talk about Tinder. Natural versus homemade or artificial. So let's look at some of the natural Tinder that I have right now on my table, and we'll talk a little bit about each. So let's start over here. Okay, right here, fatwood, all natural. You can get that from white pine, red pine, dead fallen. Just look around at the stumps or whatever's on the ground. Check the branches where it meets the trunk, and you'll find fatwood. Take your knife, split her up, make some feather sticks, and make some maya dust. That's a perfect source for starting your fire. Very easy to start with a ferro rod. Again, off the same tree, you can get your tinder, small kindling, break it up into pieces. When you crack it and it snaps, it's dry. Perfect for harvesting. And again, right there, you have your pine needles. How can you tell if it's a white pine or a red pine? That's easy. Right there, you have 2 needles. I don't know if that, okay, there it is. 2 needles. That represents the red pine. The white pine would have 5 in the cluster. So right now we're talking red pine. So everything here, right from your fatwood to your pine needles to the start of your kindling, that's all white pine. In Northern Ontario, very easy to find. It's everywhere. Then if we slide back and across the table, right there, punkwood. Again, rotting trunks in the field or in the bush. Very easy to identify. Very, very light and sponge. You can squeeze it. Very spongy. Featherweight. That is punkwood. You could process it, break it down, put the chunks into a metal container, tin, throw it in your fire, char it, and that's what you end up right here. Right there is charred punkwood. Over here in my kit, chaga. A couple strips of fatwood. Char cloth. Right there is a couple of chert, and underneath birch bark with the striker. So that is a perfect kit on its own. A little bit of everything. Next to that, we have what we call old man's beard. This, when it's dry, goes up nice. You can use your lens to start off the birch or the old man's beard, and you can even get your punkwood lit with the lens there. Over here, chaga. That is excellent for fire starting and making tea. Break it down into chunks, throw it in your kit, And when you take your striker and you throw the sparks at that, man, does it ever work nice. Coal extender. Lasts for quite a while. Then here, white birch. That's the bark off a white birch tree. Perfect, perfect, perfect stuff. Nice and dry. Starting your fire with that makes it easy. Behind there is a mushroom. That there is a horseshoe fungus. That's a big one. You could pros that down also. When you cut into the heart of that, you're going to have a lot of substance for creating a coal, striking it with a ferro rod, amadou. When you make that into amadou, put it in your fire kit as a natural material. That's going to help you out in a pinch. So this is just some of the tinder I have right now on the table. It is winter. I do have 3-4 feet of snow all over the place. This is just stuff that I have stored away in case of emergencies. I have it everywhere. Now there's all kinds of other stuff that you can use when you're out and about. You got your cattail fluff. You have dry grass. It's unlimited. When you have all this here at hand, starting and maintaining a fire comes with ease. But then all of a sudden, Mother Nature decides to throw a loop, and then she rains and rains day after day. Miserable. Everything gets wet. Now you're out there trying to survive, make a fire, get warm, and all this material that you have here is saturated with water and giving you nothing but problems. What do you do then? Yes, you can break down your branches, make feather sticks, and you can work hard, very hard. You'll get it, but you're going to work for it. There's another alternative that'll help you out that's man-made. And this is what I'm talking about. Over here is my fire kit with some artificial and some natural material. 90% of it is artificial. Natural material, right here I got some fat wood, and over here I got some chaga. There's nothing wrong with putting a fire kit together with artificial material. You have your fire piston, your flint and steel, ferrocerium rods. Again, I use that as a striker, or you can put an edge on a blade if you like. There you go. I use that as a striker. Over here, again, artificial quick tinders right there. It's got a waxy feel to it. 100% cotton. All you do is you break it apart, fluff it up, and it catches a spark very well. That'll burn probably for a minute, couple minutes. Right there, you have cotton pads, 100% cotton. The bottom row, right here, is saturated with petroleum jelly that was liquefied and dipped. Then it was put in the freezer so it can harden up a little bit. And then I melted wax and dipped it in the wax. And that's what I came up with. You break that, you snap that, pull out some fibers, and that is a great source for starting your fires. This row on top is made the exact same way here, but that's got a special ingredient that I put inside it. We'll talk about that in an upcoming video on how to make homemade DIY fire starters. Back here you have some cordage. You always need cordage, but that also, you can use the inner strands and you can use that to make your fire. Old Faithful matches. I have one container there, one container there, and I got a container there. Lifeboat matches, burns underwater, all weather. She'll ignite and stay lit for a couple of seconds, but it'll burn underwater. As soon as you pull it out from the water, it reignites, and it's great stuff, especially on a rainy day. This here, if you look at it close enough, it's fat rope. You just cut a chunk off, break it apart. That works great. Now they say that's 100% waterproof and whatnot. I'll tell you, I have some that I've been using. You soak it in water, natural rain, fluff it up, she will light. But if you cut a chunk off of that, break it apart, submerge it in water, leave it there for 5 or 10 minutes, it's not that easy to light. You got to wring it out, dry it a little bit, blow on it, and then it'll light up. But if you want natural fat wood, again, there's some sticks right here that I got that I processed out of all the fat wood that I got there in the fall. That is potent stuff right there. Just saturated with the pitch and sap. Again, right there, in my kit, I keep a few chunks of chaga. I also keep just standard cotton balls. I have 3 standard cotton balls. They're not dipped in anything. If I need to get a fire, I can take some hand sanitizer, drip it on here, hit it with a spark, and it'll get me out of trouble. I have a magnesium rod, magnesium powder. I could take the powder even, just sprinkle it on top of there, and when I light it, that'll give me a few extra seconds to start my fire. In here, I have my bellow. I got rubber bands. I got rubber bands everywhere. Everything has a rubber band on it. That way I can use that also to get my fire going. Again, I have wet ones, wet fire. I got wet fire there. These, you open this, you throw it on the top of the water, you'll light this. That'll float around and that'll stay lit. So on a rainy day, you're having problems, this will get you out of trouble very quick and very easy. that will burn good in the rain. Right there is Tinder Quakes. It's a type of rope, cotton, wrapped, soaked in a little bit of wax, and probably a little petroleum jelly. Over there, we've got jute twine treated with wax. And we got the live fire. The live fire, you just fluff it up with the tip of your blade, tip of your knife, get a nice fluff, throw a spark in there, so it'll give you a nice flame. You can open it up, get her right going real good, and then once your fire's ignited good and it's going to last very well, you can pull it out, re-put the cover, and snuff her. Again, I have more Ranger bands. The Old Faithful lighter, as you can see, I only have one. I got a lot of matches. I got lighter. I got hand sanitizer, magnesium. I have a knife. I got ferro rods. I got a striker. So I got a lot of things right there that I can make a fire with. So this is my artificial tinder. Excellent to have. Excellent to play with your grandkids and your kids. Making fires, get them involved. They're going to have a blast. Again, there's nothing wrong with using artificial material to obtain, maintain, and make your fire. Because believe me, on a cold, wet, rainy day, you're going to wish you had something. So, between this kit here that I got put together and with the natural materials that I have, I know I can get a fire going with ease, maintain it for cooking, boiling water, and for warmth. So always remember, it's not always easy to get all natural material. Even though you can find it, it might be saturated. So it doesn't hurt to rely a little bit on man-made products. Well, this is just a short video. Thank you very much for dropping by. And don't forget, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you can be notified for upcoming videos. And I thank you very much for dropping in. The next video, we're going to talk about these biscuits, and I'm going to make some and show you how it's done. So once again, thank you very much for dropping by. You guys take care, and until next time, have fun in the woods. Bye now. Later, everybody. Okay, just one more thing. Everything that was on this table is now in that Maxpedition pouch. It's a great thing to have around the house. Whenever my grandson comes over, and he's going to be here for a day or two, I always pull this pouch out, head out to the fire pit, and we go through the teaching of fire making. He loves it. And that's something he'll never forget. And it's always good to know and keep it in your toolbox. Thanks for dropping by. Till next time, you guys take care. Bye now.